Today is a Wednesday. Um, Today is a Wednesday, and I thought to myself, um, I kept mentioning something about confluences, 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 right? I'm talking about confluences. I'm talking about I'm talking about confluences. And then I thought to myself, what are the dimensions of a confluence, right? What are the dimensions of a confluence in a trade? What are the dimensions of a confluence? Dimensions of a confluence. Okay? So, dimensions of a confluence. So, essentially, what that's doing is it's breaking down the thesis of a trade. And the very descriptive display that SMB Capital does in making the trade, it has the higher level of detail in description, which are each of them by itself is non-correlated, meaning that each are uniquely supporting a particular direction of a security. Then becomes a that becomes a valid item within the dimensions of a confluence. Dimensions of a confluence. And so it's a good thing that I'm thinking about. I don't know why these things are just popping up now. Um, as I was attempting to figure out, okay, so how do I make $3 so that I can meet my daily target, right? So then I thought to myself, okay, so I thought to myself, okay, there's at least three dimensions that I see. Okay, there are three dimensions. The first is the trend. Okay, I see the trend. Basically, essentially, if I were to switch the candlestick formation into just a line, then I can see the trend. Okay, so that's the first dimension. The second dimension I've noticed is that it's the support and resistance areas. Okay, support and resistance areas. And so it interacts differently based on where the price is. And I thought to myself, okay, so what would be the third, based on a price action perspective, what would be the third dimension what is the third dimension of a trade, of a confluence? So that would be the candle formations, right? So sometimes within a certain formation, it gives hints whether it's a parabolic move or whether it's a zigzag move or whether it performs a certain Zeus move where it moves up, pulls back, and just goes up like a lightning bolt kind of thing, right? Or it creates like a fishhook pattern, right? Fishhook down like that, and then just up based on essentially hitting that support area, bouncing off, and price moving back up, where the trend has completely reversed, kind of thing. So the trend essentially was down, but it immediately turned. So it's a reversal type of a situation, right? Instead of a continuation. Reversal versus continuation. That would be the first dimension of a confluence. And there's a lot of other things that can be added into it, added into the overall supporting, the totality, the aggregate of making up a trade, which essentially starting out with those three things. And so now I'm essentially devising a method in order for me to specifically categorize each of the confluences in order for me to fit together the ideas and give specific scores of each of those dimensions that supports the thesis to essentially derive the risk level that I can apply. And that essentially is building up to the ability to classify or grade a particular trade. And so uh, it seems to be just coming out of thin air. It comes out of thin air as I started to observe as I started to observe to make the trade. So how do I make the trade to make this small little bit of money? And a thought just came to me that there is essentially a dimensions of a confluence, and each of those specific things that I'm just conjuring it up is essentially the first part is it continuation or reversal? And if it's a continuation, okay, so which direction is that going? So that's the first part. The second part is, okay, so where are the support and resistance locations located, okay? And so that I can look at. And then the third is, what are the candle structures? How are the candle structures behaving? Is it like a parabolic move or is it a zigzag move? So I can look at it and verify. And another thing that popped into my mind was, at what stage of the price action, okay, what stage is it? Is it bouncing off certain locations? Is it bouncing off? Did it bounce off multiple times, or did it just bounce just once? Or of the support area, what is its formation? What is its formation, right? So I suppose that would fit into. So the third category would be the setup, essentially, right? So that would be the setup. Okay, so the first part is the trend, which direction it's going, okay, and whether it's going to be a continuation. The second part is where the support and resistance, and the third is the formation of the candles. Is it like wide, small, big, whatever it is? Is it connected together? Is it fast? And then the fourth is going to be the setup. What is it? Is it looking familiar in the type of setups that I'm looking at? Okay, so those are the things that I can look at to make a conclusion based on at least four different criterias, four different dimensions of dimensions of the confluences that allows me to make the trade, to assess what the risk size is going to be. And the less I'm sure the size of my risk is going to smaller, or don't even trade at all, right? So these are the things that I'm looking into now as I hone my skills to improve my efficacy in trading, so that I can risk a little more, and I expect to get far better results in the very near future. So this essentially is cultivating the idea of dimensions of a confluence. Yeah.